Oh, I hear fall back, fall back, fall back. Does that mean they're withdrawing?
Outremer, a land of faith, a land of war. Byzantium, the majestic gateway to the east and the Crusades. The Principality of Antioch, a proud Crusader state and home to the Hospitallers. Jerusalem, the holy city, a kingdom forged by blood, steel, and faith. A place revered by the faithful and coveted by many. In the east, the mighty Seljuks, led by Nur ad-Din, fighting to drive the accursed Crusaders into the sea. And to the south rises the cunning Salah al-Din, builder of an empire ready to grind the Crusaders into the desert sands. This is a time of faith, a time of battle, a time of total war. Through the holy word of the Prophet, blessed be his name, have the people of Islam been taught to embrace peace and mercy. There are some sins that the infidels commit, however, that cannot be forgiven, and warrant no mercy. Islam can no longer stand idly by and allow further desecration to all that is sacred.
Okay, guys, welcome back. Or welcome for the first time if you did not see the prologue episode, which, as a quick reminder, the prologue episode went over like the faction we're playing as, the mods we're using, and just a bunch of like background details. So if you want to know those details, you can go and watch that. Otherwise, we're just going to get basically right into the campaign here right now. As a quick reminder, as I think I mentioned this in the prologue, we are playing as the Principality of Antioch. And we're doing that for no other reason, really, than because in the Kingdoms expansions, I've only ever played them each once. So each of the campaigns. And so I'm basically replaying those campaigns as an adult now, because I was a kid when I played them before. And I'm playing as the same faction as I did when I was a kid. So I played as the Principality of Antioch as a kid, probably because of the Knights Hospitaller with their black armor and white iconography, which is way cooler than the white and gold of the Kingdom of Jerusalem, and that was probably the only real reason. I want to say that there's a deeper reason, but probably not. All right, anyway, Principality of Antioch. Our objectives are thus: we already have Crac de Chevalier. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but it felt correct, so we'll go with that. We have Antioch and we have Edessa. So what we really need from this list is Constantinople and Baghdad, which means we are going to have to clash with the Byzantines at some point, unless the Turks obligingly take it. Then we can just take it from them. Then, of course, we have Baghdad down here. We need to hold it for a certain number of turns, which is interesting. I don't remember that being a thing in, like, the main campaign, for example. Oh, and we need to eliminate the Turks. Oh, okay, so we can't just take the settlements. We do actually have to completely eliminate the Turks as a faction. Okay, that's interesting. 25 regions in total. That's actually not a whole lot, especially considering we start off with 6. This might be a short, sharp campaign, though I suspect it will take a little longer than like the number of regions actually implies, simply because I feel like this is going to be a very battle-heavy campaign, which is how I like them. We start off allied to the Kingdom of Jerusalem and at war with the Turks, while the Kingdom of Jerusalem starts off allied, of course, to us and at war with Egypt, as one might expect. I do have a diplomat down here who's going to try and get map information because I realized I can't really see anything down here. And I assume that the Kingdom of Jerusalem would be able to show me at least a little bit. The Byzantines also start off at war with the Turks, which is a good thing. Hopefully they'll distract them a bit. Certainly they are in need of being distracted because, as you can see, it is the second turn of the game. And yet there are already, within my sight, 4 full stack or near full stack armies. I think they actually are all basically full stack armies. Okay, maybe that they're missing a unit there. Oh, and actually they're missing a couple of units there. All right, but anyway, I guess 4 sizable forces, and 2 of them are already in our territory, and this is the second turn of the game. And I guess it's a good thing that I quickly put together these 2 armies from our garrisons, because basically we started off with tons of troops in all of these settlements, and some standing outside as well. And we actually still have quite a few troops in these settlements. So I'm thinking once we've eliminated these 2 armies here with these 2 armies here, I'll grab another general, maybe Roger the Crusader, and have him assume command of a 3rd army with even more troops, because it looks like we're going to need them. We also do kind of need our troops to get whittled down just a bit, because army upkeep is really killing our finances. We are firmly in the red each turn. I mean, not in our total treasury, but I mean in our profits. Basically, we have no profits. Let's see. And this is the Principality of Antioch. So our faction leader, just as a reminder, is a prince, not a king. So this guy here, Prince Bohemond? Bohemond? Whatever his name is. That feels correct, I guess. Bohemond here is actually the faction leader. You can see there. And the heir is actually called a regent. This is interesting. I actually would consider making him the commander. He does have 1 less star than... Whoops, not this guy. This guy here, but he has tons of dread, which I believe means that the enemy will basically flee in terror from his presence. But man, look at that loyalty. His loyalty was so low, in fact, I felt like I should know who this is. My knowledge of the Crusades is admittedly a little less than I would like. I remember reading books on it quite a while ago, but it was quite a while ago, and the details are hazy. But when I looked at that low loyalty, I was like, this guy must be important in some way. And so I looked him up, and apparently he was kind of a bastard, but he was also a great commander. So maybe when he becomes the faction leader and we don't have to worry so much about his loyalty, it'll be fine. Or maybe what I should have done is actually put him, or I could still do this actually, I could put him in an army with another general who's got more stars than he does, and that way, I don't know, he could fight alongside that general and maybe gain some loyalty, enough that he could command an army on his own. That'd be nice. I don't think the dread will kick in if he's just a secondary general. I think he has to be leading the army. So it won't help in that regard, but maybe we can boost up his loyalty a little bit. All right, but anyway, yeah, so basically that's where these 2 armies came from. One is being commanded by... I just want to call him Bordeaux, but I'm pretty sure that just means that must be the city he came from. Mr. Bordeaux. He's going to attack this Turkish force here, and hopefully they'll stand and fight. If they retreat, that would be annoying, because I don't know if he has the movement points to fully pursue them. And the prince here has actually reached the end of his movement points, so he definitely won't be joining. But before we actually even get into the battle, one thing I did want to mention, I said in the prologue that I would show you guys this, or actually, was it in the prologue for this campaign, or was it the epilogue of my last campaign in the 4th Age? I mentioned that there was a way to have, you know how in Rome 1 you can see the battle map of a city or a settlement by clicking on it, and there was a button for it here somewhere? Or maybe it was in the settlement details screen somewhere. Couldn't do that in Medieval 2. But you can with the Medieval 2 Overhaul Project, I believe it's called. I mentioned this all in my prologue, and there will be links in the description if you want to take a look at it. But basically, you can middle-click on a settlement, and we'll just do it for Rac des Chevaliers here. You see, there's two options here. I don't know what set planned retreat route means, but okay. But we're going to go ahead and just view the tactical map. And as you can see, it did not work, because apparently I right-clicked like outside of the settlement or something. So it's showing me the fields like outside of Crac des Chevaliers instead of the actual settlement itself. That's kind of annoying, so let's go back and try again. All right, this is more like it. So anyway, yeah, just be careful how you right-click. Make sure you've got the mouse like directly on the settlement if you want to see it. And so now you can actually look at the settlement without actually having to go into a battle. I think this was only mildly useful. Like, because what you could do is, if you weren't sure which side of the settlement you wanted to attack, what you could do is, or well, I guess defend. Like, let's say you were defending a settlement in Rome 1, and you wanted to see like which side like the enemy would most likely attack from. Like, let's say the enemy was most likely to attack from the north. You could go into your battle map for the settlement and see, well, what does my northern, face look like? And since the deployment zone would extend to, the other sides of the map, at least a couple of the other sides, you could kind of look and see what kind of obstacles you'd be able to put in front of the enemy. I don't think it was all that useful, to be honest. In fact, I don't remember really using it very much myself. But it might be a little more useful this time, now that I have it here in Medieval 2, and I'll explain why. You see, unlike the feature in Rome 1, you're not just limited to your own settlements. You can actually right-click on, say, an enemy settlement, like Homs here, and do the same thing. And so here you go. So now this actually makes it immediately a lot more useful of a feature, because you can, let's face it, you're attacking a lot more than you're defending in these games, or at least in Rome 1 and Medieval 2, that seems to be the case for me. And so you could actually look, before you've even besieged the settlement, you can kind of look around and go, okay, which side would I want to attack? Obviously this particular battle map isn't very complicated, and I'd say attacking from each side is more or less the same, but for some of those like citadels or just more complicated or fortresses, like more complicated battle maps, you could look beforehand and go, oh, I don't want to attack from the south or from the north or from wherever. I want to attack from the east. And so then you could have your army besiege the map, or besiege these settlements on the eastern side. And so that way you could be assured that once the battle actually began, you would be able to go on that side of the settlement. But wait, there's more. Because not only are you not limited to just your own settlements and your enemy's settlements, but you're not even limited to settlements at all. You can right-click on, let's just say this army here. We're about to fight this battle, remember. This is where we're going to try and attack. So I can just right or middle-click on this guy and view the tactical map. And it will show us the battlefield here. I wouldn't worry too much about these squares, by the way. You can see how the shadows are receding in a very strange way. That only seems to happen when you're using this feature. That won't happen during the actual battles, so I wouldn't worry about that. But you can now see this is the battle map. Very hilly, not a lot of trees. Very hilly actually over there. Yeah, so you can kind of get a view of the battle map before you actually fight it. And it works with, your own armies, your enemy's armies, your settlements, your enemy's settlements. And I think you can even just do it on a random piece of ground that no one is standing on. Like here, let's go back. I don't know why you'd ever want to do this, but let's just say for some reason you wanted to know what this battle map right here looked like. Oh, and I see we don't have the option for the set planned retreat route. I really need to figure out what that feature is for. But anyway, so I've just randomly middle-clicked on this piece of ground right here. Oops. There we go. And so then we go into the map. And here we are. Here's the battle map for that just random piece of ground. Again, I don't know why you'd want to do just a random piece of ground. Surely it would be like a battle you were about to fight. So you'd right-click or middle-click on an army or a settlement, but I don't know, maybe if you wanted to see what a ford or a bridge battle would look like beforehand, you could like middle click on the ford or the bridge to see, like before your army even gets there, just to see like what it would look like beforehand. That might be useful, but probably not just this random piece of ground like I did just now. All right, but anyway, let's go back to the campaign map. All right, there we go. Anyway, just wanted to show that off because I think I will be using that at least occasionally. I really don't know how much I'll be using it, but I just thought it was so cool that I had to show it off. And it may be useful. Again, I'm not 100% sure how useful it will be, but I guess we'll find out. All right, so anyway, let's go ahead and get right into the battle. So we're going to have Mr. Bordeaux attack Captain Malik here, and hopefully he'll stand and fight us. And he did. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, and we can do... Yes, we can give him an extra star there. Now we have actually mostly missile units, because these guys are javelin men, a couple of bow units, 4 cavalry archer units, and then we have 6 melee infantry in the form of these axemen and these clubbers. Looks like they got clubs anyway. Now, we only have 4 archer units ourselves, so my thought here is our archers need to focus on their cavalry, which since we do outnumber them in terms of like unit or number of soldiers, not the number of units. Like we have the same number of units, but you see the cavalry archers only have half as many men, so we should be able to kill them off with our archers. Meanwhile, our cavalry should then be focused on their missile infantry, especially like these javelin men, because I think they have like anti-armor bonuses with those javelins. So we definitely want to just have our cavalry just kill them off as quickly as possible. I assume our infantry will then do reasonably well against theirs. I don't think their stats... Oh, right. Okay, I remember now. These guys have high attack but low defense, so they'll kill a lot of our guys, but they'll also die pretty quickly. So it would be nice if our cavalry could just eliminate the missile infantry really quickly and then get in amongst these guys to kill them off too. Actually, these guys are effective against armor too with their axe. Yes, we definitely want to kind of sweep them from the field as quickly as possible, methinks. All right, but anyway, let's get right into the battle. Okay, guys, welcome to the battle. As you can see, the enemy have set up on the hill over there, which makes sense. So I'm having my troops move over here, basically. Actually, I should move my archers over here as well. I told them to actually shoot at those cavalry archers over there, but as you can see, they've beat a rather hasty retreat. It's probably a good idea. But basically, once we get our army over here, so we'll be at a little more of a level playing field. They are still somewhat on a hill above our men, but not by much. So then what I think we'll do is, because they've put some of their cavalry archers kind of far away, to be honest, we'll try and focus all 4 of our archer units on this unit over here, while we push the rest of the army forward right onto these guys. And it does look like... Let's see, where are their archers? Okay, yeah, they are here in the front. We might even try and have our cavalry just charge right into them, and... Oh. Okay, they're having their cavalry archers join up, which is unfortunate, but probably a good idea, to be honest. Have them all in one big force. Because that does mean... in that case, what we could do is have our archers kind of off to the side here. Okay, why don't you rush over there? Because we only really want our archers to be facing their missile cavalry in this battle. That's where they're most needed, because we can't catch them with any of our other units. We've only got like heavy knight-style cavalry. They'll just be shot to pieces and never catch them. So yeah, they'll focus on them, and the rest of the army will charge up here to take them out. It looks like it is going to be a bit before we actually engage them, though, so I will just bring you back once we're a little closer to battle actually being joined with the enemy. Okay, guys, welcome back. As you can see, the enemy is charging at us. All right, let's have our archers start shooting at their cavalry over here. Our cavalry is already sweeping around the side there, so we'll get right in amongst those archers here soon. Our archers are taking quite a beating, actually.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we smash the enemy.
Yeah, I imagine so, though, ow. We actually lost quite a few spearmen there. Okay, cavalry, pull back for a bit there. Oh, I hear fall back, fall back, fall back. Does that mean they're withdrawing? Okay, cavalry, get over here. Alright, I think they actually are withdrawing. That is unfortunate. We do not want them to get away. Heavy cavalry, get over here. Especially the archers. I don't think we want the archers to get away. Yeah, let's get the spearmen out of the way, because they're not really going to help out here. Actually, the archers probably aren't either, but... Okay, there's the edge of the map, so that's how far we can get. Come on, you guys, get around. Get around that rock. Amazing how, like, this one rock just kind of, like, holds up the entirety of the army. What are you guys doing? Get forward. Go forward. Come on, attack those guys. Do I need to actually direct you in there? Maybe I do. Dang it, that Turkish archer unit is going to get away. Pull through, pull through.
They have lost half their men.
Actually, even the units that I'm not controlling are pulling through, so I guess maybe I don't really need to do this. Let's have one unit pull off and go get those guys. And another one pull off and go get those guys. Okay, pull back. Get these guys, if you can. Those guys might actually get away. Seriously, are you guys stuck on the rock? Rocks, plural. There is technically more than one rock. Okay, there we go. All right, it looks like we got most of one of the Turkish archer units. All right, seriously, is it the rocks that are causing this? Like, why can't these guys just kill the enemy? Oh, it's because they're divided, too. That's another problem. See, now that those guys in the back have been killed, you see how they surge forward to kill the guys in front? Alright, how you guys doing over here? You murdered them? Almost. There's two of them left. One of those dastardly rocks is in the way. Alright, is there anyone else? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, it looks like that unit's probably the last one right there.
All of Christendom
and they're gone.
by our victory here today.
I don't know if they'll be odd. We lost a fair few number of those archers. That's unfortunate. Oh, wait a minute. They start off with 120 men? Maybe? Yeah. They don't start off with 150, so maybe we didn't lose as many as I thought. This guy did. Or this unit did. That's a little unfortunate, but I think our casualties overall were quite good. Casualties healed. Oh yeah, we got 15 of them back too, so that's not so bad. Alright, but now casualties inflicted. Obviously the knights did a fair bit of work. Oh, actually, that's right. In Medieval 2, it does divide. If you quote-unquote kill a fleeing enemy, it counts as a prisoner caught. So they did very well with catching prisoners, and I guess somewhat in actual fighting. These two units did anyways. The archers... I don't know. The archers do not trade well with those Turkish cavalry. They really don't. Well, then again, some of those casualties may have also been caused by their infantry archers, because I think I saw them throw a volley or two as well, or fire a volley or two. Actually, it might have even taken like a blow or two from the javelins. I couldn't really watch the whole battlefield at once to see who was killing who, but overall, obviously that's a good trade for a first battle. But let's take this back to the campaign map. You see, that is such a tiny... It's really not a lot of money. It's basically like one turn's worth of like what my deficit currently is, and in exchange they would get all of these guys back. Which, I mean, I guess that isn't a lot of guys now that I sit here and look at it, but like they have another army right back there, so if I let them go, I presume they'll join up, and then I'll have to fight them again. It's really just not a lot of money. But I kind of want to do it anyways. Money! I want money! Even if it isn't all that much. Alright, let's just see if they even accept it. They do.
God be praised for this victory.
Oh, and it sends them all the way back to their... Wait a minute! Oh, okay, right. It's the prisoners I released, but also a bunch of them got away. I was like, there weren't this many prisoners. Well, no, there weren't. But now, you see, I almost still regret that. I forgot that, of course, we hadn't completely eliminated them. We also had a bunch of, just units that just straight up got away. Maybe I shouldn't have done that then. Oh well, it has been done. +1 to command. Feels appreciated. Oh, his loyalty went up. His loyalty wasn't too bad, though. Yeah, his loyalty was good. Alright, and we cannot reach the other guy, methinks. Let's just move the spy out of the way. Yeah, we cannot reach them. It doesn't matter which army. If he tries to attack one of our armies, it doesn't matter. Whichever one he attacks, if he attacks either, I think we would be fine fighting that force there. In fact, this force only has... Oh, it actually does have 3 units of cavalry archers. That's unfortunate. Maybe I should be using some cavalry archers myself. I was kind of thinking of... Well, at least here in the opening parts of the game, I would need to use mostly knights, because looking at like all the the soldiers that I had in the garrisons, it was the only cavalry I had were either knights or these mounted sergeants. But I can get my own cavalry archers. That might be worthwhile. Actually, I wonder how well they compare to these guys. Let's see. 4, 6, 1. Huh. Okay, well, their defense is much higher. Oh, because they have a shield. Ah, okay. That actually might mean they fight way better than those guys over there. Because I believe shield really does contribute to missile defense. So they'll be able to take an arrow better than I think those guys. Do these guys not have a shield? Oh, I guess they really don't. Which explains why their defense is basically non-existent. I imagine they do have a better cavalry archer unit, though. Ah, okay, this one here. Turkomans. They have a shield. And actually, I think they're just better than our cavalry archers, though probably just barely. I think the missile attack is the same, and the melee attack is like 1 on top of that. Oh, they also have a bit of extra armor there. They've got, yeah, 1 extra armor that they wouldn't have had otherwise. All right, but anyway, I have babbled on long enough. We're going to go ahead and drive these guys from our lands as well, and then we're going to have to very quickly turn around and come back over here, because there's obviously quite a concentration of their enemies, or of my enemies here. I think we are going to see if we can try and get a 3rd army from these garrisons, like just pulled up here so that we can fight off all of these Turks and push down to Baghdad, because that's going to be what we're going to do first. And once we've destroyed the Turks in this region... Oh, I bet you there are probably Turkish cities in this region too. And then what? I guess we would have to go west. I mean, we have to go west at some point because we need Constantinople. And we need to eliminate every Turkish settlement too, because the faction has to be eliminated. We can't just, like, weaken them enough that we don't really need to worry about them anymore. We need to worry about them until the end of the game. All right, but anyway, it looks like that's going to be it for now, so I will just bring you guys back as more of interest occurs.